You should have already watched the video where I perform the object through a table trick, but this one is going to explain how I do it, okay? So if you haven't already watched that video, go and watch that video first and then come back to this one. So for this trick, you need just a couple of things. First off, you are gonna need something that you are gonna tell your audience you are pushing through the table. Now, I chose this rubber duck. You could use a little ball or something like that. You can use a coin. You can use anything that's a solid object that you are going to tell your audience you are going to push through the table. Now, the reason I chose this duck is that for part of the trick, I have to squish my hand down onto it, so I didn't want anything too sharp that might hurt my hand while I was doing that, okay? So that's why I chose this duck. I've also tried it with this coin. So don't worry if you don't have a little rubber duck, it'll work fine. The second thing you need is some sort of cup. Now you want this cup to be pretty light, pretty flexible, something you're not afraid you're gonna break. So I chose this plastic cup that came with some set. And then you need something to cover that cup. I'm using this piece of paper. You can use a napkin, a handkerchief. Just make sure that it's big enough that it can cover your whole cup, okay? So you can see it doesn't really cover my cup that way, but it can cover my cup this way, okay? So I can pick up the cup and cover it. So those are the three things you'll need, okay? This trick uses a magician's skill called misdirection. Okay, you want your audience to focus on this object here, even though that's not really where the magic is going to be happening, okay? And that's what misdirection is. We want people to look at something so that they're missing the magic that we're happening. Okay, so the way I did that in our trick is I talk about this duck and how important it is, and then I'm going to push it through the table, and I challenge you to believe me that I'm going to push it through the table. I make a big deal about hitting the duck on the table, showing that my table is solid from top and bottom. There's no tricks in my table, okay? So I want to put the duck, the coin, whatever you're using, whatever you say you're going to push through the table, and then you're going to set your cup over the top of it. Now, you might add to your misdirection by scooping it around, showing that it's still there, tapping that cup, okay? And then you're claiming that you need this piece of paper for magic. You might put it in front of your audience, let them check it, make sure there's nothing silly about it. You can even let them do that with the cup, show them that it's a solid cup if your audience is in front of you, okay? Then you're going to take this and you're going to cover it with the napkin, okay? So remember, I've got the duck, the cup, and then the piece of paper. And one more time, I'm going to show my audience, I'm going to pick this up and bring it close to me and show my audience that that duck is still there. We want their focus to be on that duck, because when I lift this up and I bring it over here, what I've done is I've dropped the cup into my lap. Okay, I had to make sure that my paper was under the table or low enough to the table so that my audience didn't see, but I dropped that cup, I put it back over the duck. Remember, there's no cup in there now, it's just this piece of paper, but you don't want to show that to your audience, okay? Then you lift up one hand, you wave your hand over it, 1, 2, 3, magic word alakazam, and I squish it. See, because I squished my hand on it, it looks like something went through the table, and I lift it up and it's the duck. Where'd the cup go? And then you can look and, oh, the cup, it's right here. It's here on the floor. Crazy. So it's on the floor for me because it falls out of my lap. So one time I crossed my legs here in my lap so that it didn't fall out. Okay, so we're going to try this trick one more time. Show them your object. Here, I'll do it with the coin this time. Show them your object. Oh, I'm going to make this coin go through the table. This solid table. I'm going to lift it there, stick it down. I'm going to show them the cup. Nothing silly about this cup. It's just a cup, and I'm going to place it over, shake that around a little bit. All right, folks, here is our magic piece of paper that's going to help me in this trick. I am checking, swirl it around a little, lift it up, drop the cup in your lap, put it back. 1, 2, 3, alakazam! Coin's still here. Cup is in my lap. Okay, Don't tell them the cup's in the lamp. Remember, a magician never reveals their tricks. I guess except for me, who's teaching you these tricks so you can be magicians too. So try it out, practice it. This is something you could do anywhere. So you could do it at your house. You could do it at a table. You could do it at a kitchen counter. You could do it on one side of your bed, okay? You just need some sort of surface, okay? And some reliable way that you could reach under it to suggest that the cup went through the surface. Try it out. When you've got it ready, send me back a video or a picture of you trying out this trick so that I know you have been practicing and working hard. And remember, it takes a couple times to get magic right, okay? So don't get discouraged or don't get disappointed if you don't get it right the first time, because good magicians, like you are, practice and rehearse over and over and over again. Best of luck. Can't wait to see your magic.